Hi everyone and welcome to my 10th episode of HipHipBarbaknitStories. My name is Linda and I'm talking to you from Reykjavik, Iceland. There was no podcast episode last week because as you can maybe hear from my voice, it's a bit hoarse and I pardon in advance for if I sniffle a lot or cough because I've been fighting a cold for almost 2 weeks, and last weekend I was way too sick to sit in front of a camera and talk for an hour or something, so I decided not to record anything because it wouldn't have been fun for anybody. So this episode might be a little bit longer than my usual ones. We'll see what happens. I'll try to talk about everything as quickly as I can. And also, if you want to find me on social media, I'm Barbanit on Instagram. I'm HipHipBarbaknit on Ravelry. And those are the two places where I'm most active, and also in the description box below I will put links to my social media and my email if anybody needs to contact me about anything. I have I think 4 finished objects this week. The first one is it's actually for my daughter, but I'm stealing it today because she's not here to model it for us. This is the Punguo No pattern by Stephen West. It's made in all the colors and all the yarns. I love this section here on the shoulder. It's Ching fibers held double in the Bali color, or Balu. I don't remember the name of it properly. And I held this pom-pom yarn with it. So it has like these tiny little pom-poms here on the shoulder, a little detail here on the front, and then the whole section here down below. I decided to have the pom-poms as well because I think they're really fun and they add so much to the garment. And my daughter absolutely loves it. And I'm going to show you the back real quick. She wanted a total unicorny mermaid splash of colors. So this is what the back looks like. It's really nice, really soft. I've been kind of stealing it when she's not at home. So it's very snuggly, very nice. Didn't take that long at all. I thought it would take a lot longer, but it didn't. So I'm happy about that. I also finished the shawl that I was working on, all the angles. But Stephen took it with him to Amsterdam when he left for a photo shoot, I think. And it's basically a store sample for Stephen and Penelope in Amsterdam. And the pattern is coming sometime in June, I believe. It was part of his yarn along last year in 2017. And so now he is releasing the patterns individually on Ravelry. I think on Friday he released the first one called Smock It that I also did. I tested the pattern last year for him and made a sample out of 2 skeins of La Bien-Aimée merino singles and 1 hedgehog fiber sock in a potluck color. He took some photos and you can see them. Sorry, my nose is itchy. You can see the photos on both my Instagram account and his Instagram account, and also of course on my Ravelry account. And that pattern, yeah, I think it was released on Friday. So if you want to check it out, you can buy yourself a copy on Ravelry. I also finished this tiny, tiny sweater. It's so cute. I still haven't, I still need to stick it. That's why the threads are hanging, because when I stick these kind of sweaters, I take my sewing machine out and I sew over the ends, so I don't have to like weave them in properly. I just drag them to the front and then I lay them over, and then I sew them down, and then I cut, and that still freaks me out, even though I've done it, I don't even know how many times I've done it so far, but always like I sew and then I have to cut my finished knitted item, and it freaks me out every time. I might do like a live session on Instagram when I do it, if I can, if I'm not shaking too much. And I have to find buttons for it. There's supposed to be like 3 buttons here on the front. And this is a gift to my daughter's, my daughter Caritas is expecting another sibling in June. So her new baby brother to be is gonna be the owner of this very cute little cardigan. The pattern is by Helen Magnusson, and it's called Gili Peisa. I will link to that also. You can buy the pattern on Ravelry. The yarn that I used is Tint Lamol, which is a fingering weight llama wool mix from Denmark. I really like how it turned out. It looks a little bit similar to lope because it's a really woolly kind of wool, but it's much softer. And I don't like using lope or Icelandic wool for baby knits, because as you know, if you've worked with Icelandic yarn, Icelandic wool, it's a bit prickly and it's a bit rough on the skin, and I don't like that on babies. So I decided to go for a softer option and use the llama, and I really like how it looks. It's a very cute and simple color work. Baby cardigan. So it was super quick to make. So I'm going to my in-laws later today, and I'm gonna go through my mother-in-law's button box, because she was here yesterday and she said that she had a lot of buttons, and I think I want some navy blue ones, because I tried some wooden ones and some gray, black, brown, white yesterday at my knit group, and I didn't find any that really looked right on this cardigan. So I'm gonna see if my mother-in-law has some. If not, my mother is a seamstress and she has a lot of buttons as well. If not there, I'll just go shopping and find something. The baby is not expected until late June, so I still have time to finish it 100% and stick it and sew in the buttons. And then I finished my Edinburgh socks. It's just a very plain vanilla sock pattern. They're so beautiful. I really like them. It's an MCN base, 80% merino, 10% cashmere and 10% nylon from Twisted Fiber Arts. The main color is called Highland, and I did the heels and the toes in a mini skein that came with the main color. I was thinking about doing the cuff in the mini skein as well, but no, I I think they look perfect just like this. They fit me perfectly. I did them on 2mm needles. I'm not really sure about the gauge. How do you say it? Gauge? the stitch count in these, but I will measure them at some point. I really like my socks to be kind of dense. I don't like loosely knitted socks, so I've figured out that I definitely need to make my socks on 2mm needles. And I always use DPNs. I always start from the cuff and I work my way down. These have a heel flap, a turned heel, and a gusset. But I am going to try out something new. I mean, I've mastered this technique. It's not that technically challenging or anything, and I really like sorry I really like how it looks and how it feels, and it fits my feet really well, but I want to experiment and learn new things when it comes to making socks, because I think even though I've only finished 2 pairs now, the yellow ones, no, 3, sorry, the yellow ones and the ones out of the 8-ply yarn that I did for my daughter, and then these. They all have the same heel basically, so I just wanna experiment and learn new things when it comes to knitting heels. So I have 4 finished objects: the penguono, all the ankles, shawl, the socks, and the baby cardigan. So yeah, that's everything that I've finished. And what I'm working on in my personalized bag from Etta Lilja that I'm absolutely in love with. I was struggling for a bit what project to keep in this bag, and I decided that it would be my whip sock project bag. So now I have new socks on my needles. I gave the brown sprouting sock. I finished one, but it still needed a partner. It was a cabled sock, beautiful pattern by Beata from Hedgehog Fibers. I really want the pair, but it's a cabled socks. I am not a fan of knitting cables. I've tried to knit cables with a cable needle and without a cable needle, and I've looked at all the tutorials and YouTube videos, and I don't like knitting cables. I love the look of them, but I don't like doing them. I think the problem is that it when I have to do a cable, I have to kind of stop and slow down and like put stitches in front or in the back, and it's fiddly and it slows me down, and I don't like being slow when it comes to my knitting, and I think that's a big part of why I don't like knitting cables. So from now on, I've learned my lesson. I'm not gonna knit any more cabled socks or cable anything. I mean, one really simple small accent here and there, like in my swag sweater. It was just like a tiny little thing. It was okay. I managed. I went through it, but then it came to the body, and the whole body and the sleeves have these tiny little axes that are basically cables, and I was just like, no. I tried them a few times and I decided to do the whole body and the sleeves in stockinette, and I'm perfectly happy with it, and it went like this. It was so fast. So plain vanilla socks or even lace socks are gonna be my thing. I love knitting lace, and I love all kinds of texture on my socks, just not cables. So I've learned my lesson. Pippa, my friend, is gonna finish the brown one for me, and I'm gonna keep on knitting socks, but take it down a notch, not do something that I know that I won't finish. So the next socks on my needles are for my daughter Caritas. This is the yarn that I'm using. This used to be a white skein of Regia sock yarn, but I showed you a few, what was it, last episode or something? No, last episode was with Steven, but the one before that, I showed you some yarn that I had like experimented with. And Caritas got super excited, and she was like, Mom, I want to dye some yarn with you, and maybe we can get some sock yarn, and you can knit me socks out of the yarn that we dye. And of course we did. We got some white sock yarn and we dyed some yarn, and this is the yarn that we dyed. It's white, pink, brown, turquoise, red. Yeah, it has all kinds of everything. I think she used like 4 colors in total. Brown, pink, red, and the turquoise one. And I just let her do whatever she wanted. And we finished dyeing the yarn, and this is how it's knitting up. It's a little bit stripy, but I really like how it's turning out. And she is super into it. She's super excited about it. And I started this on Friday. We went on a trip with my husband's, with the ministry that my husband works for. I'm going to talk about that trip later because it was amazing. I started this like on the bus because we had to stay on a bus for a big portion of the day, and I can't sit on a bus and do nothing. So of course I started some socks, and I'm almost down to the heel. I need to do like 2 or 3 more centimeters, and then I'm gonna do a fish lips kiss heel on these. I'm gonna try them out. I bought the pattern. I made cardboard box shapes of her foot and of my foot and of my husband's foot. So I have them, and I can knit socks for the entire family whenever I feel like it. Even if people are away or on holiday or have to go out of the country or whatever. So in a little bit I will get to the heel, and I'm gonna do my very first fish lips kiss heel, and I'm super excited about learning a new technique in doing heels. So yeah, these are super fun. I like how the yarn is turning out. It's a little bit stripy, but I think it's okay. I think it looks really good. Yeah. And it's making my daughter happy. So that's what I want. So yeah, that's it. I basically only have one other big whip going on, which is the same cardigan that Steven was working on when he came here on my show 2 weeks ago. It's kind of a relative to his Marled Mania sweater, but it's a cardigan, and I'm not going to show you the entire thing, but I can show you how the colors are working out. We showed you this bag of yarns. Sorry. This cold is driving me crazy. Okay, we showed you this bag of yarns when he was here, and I'm just going to show you how the colors are, what I'm doing with the colors. This is the melted baby suri alpaca from Ching Fibers, held together with a strand of, I think it's Ching, maybe it's Labian. I don't have the, what do you call it? The skein band for it. It's held together with this dark brown merino single yarn. That's, I think it's Ching Fibers as well. And then this is what I'm doing with the colors. Marling all the colors. I love how this is turning out, and it's quite an addictive knit. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I think it's gonna look really nice when it's done. And I'm just constantly knitting on it. It's a big knit. It's quite big, and there are a lot of ends all over. But yeah, it's gonna be great when it's done. And I think it's a cardigan that I'm gonna use quite a lot, because I live in Iceland and we usually always have wind. Even if we have good and sunny days, in the evenings it's usually pretty cold, and you definitely, like, if you leave the house early and it's really sunny and really nice out, you definitely need to bring a sweater or a light jacket or something to throw over you later in the day or in the evening, because it gets pretty cold usually, and most of us are not that used to a lot of heat. So when it has been hot all day and then it gets cold in the evenings, we just find it really cold, even if it's not. But yeah, I think we're tender little flowers who don't really handle like heating changes very well. I need my coffee. Keep my throat warm so I'm not coughing constantly. I do have some new stash. Not a lot. Well, I'm not counting the 2 huge bags of yarns that Stephen brought when he came over, because they are designated to specific projects, like this Marled Mania cardigan, and then a new sweater project that he is designing as well, that I'm gonna start immediately after I finish this one. And so those are not really new stash, it's just yarn for specific projects. So I'm not counting those, and I showed them to you when Stephen was here as well, so I don't have to show them to you again. I did get the new Lane magazine, which is absolutely gorgeous as usually. I want to knit all the things from it. I've seen that the Lotta dress is really popular, but I'm really drawn to Elevate, this beautiful wrap thing, and that kind of stood out for me, and the green Kuru cardigan as well, this one. Beautiful. absolutely beautiful. It's really simple, but it's like a staple that you kind of need in your wardrobe. Kind of goes over everything. Goes with trousers and dresses and whatever. I think it's beautiful. I kind of want to make it at some point. And I've read most of the articles in here. There's a really nice interview with Isolde Teague, which I'm a huge fan of. And I think she's like a knitting wizard. She does beautiful things, and all of her patterns are perfectly graded, come in loads of sizes. Her technique is just impeccable. The new pom-pom that I'm ridiculously excited about. I talked a little bit about this on my last episode, and especially this fun project bag that I really want to make. And I got the yarn for it. I know I said that I was going to use yarn from my stash. Well, I didn't really find anything that spoke to me and that I had enough of, because I want to make the larts. There's a plane going over the house, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't have any cotton yarn in enough yardage for the large size. So I just got the yarn. I'm gonna use these 3 beautiful colors out of BC Gan Alba, which is 100% organic cotton. I haven't started my project bag yet because I've been working on the cardigan a lot and the socks, but I think I'm gonna cast it on pretty soon and just, it's not something that has a deadline or that I need to finish immediately, but I still want to get it going because I'm super excited about this bag. I think it's beautiful, and there are so many gorgeous projects in this magazine. It's amazing. The other one that I'm dying to make, because I really want to make something out of linen, is this gorgeous top. I love it. And the back is just amazing. I need this in my life. So the new pom-pom is just, yeah, I think it's amazing. And then I got a new project bag. I saw this on Etsy. The Etsy shop is called Lucy Sewing or Lucy Sews or something like that. I will put a link to it. It's just a small size, perfect for like a sock project or something. And I fell in love with the print on this fabric. It looks like a cross stitch. And then there are these beautiful flowers. It has a zip and this pretty yellow chevron lining inside. I just had to have it. I couldn't help myself. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So I got this, and it came all the way from Ukraine. I just saw it and I bought it, and I didn't think about where it was coming from. And then I got a shipping notification, and it was the Ukraine post, and I was like, okay, whatever. I don't think I've ever had anything shipped to me from the Ukraine before. Oh well, it's beautiful, and her Etsy shop is really pretty. So I'll put a link to it below. I also got my last shipment from my Garn Stories club. subscription. I haven't opened this, I'm sorry. A bit loud. And I got these two beautiful colors. The green one is called Grinch, which is really appropriate. Grinch. And this lavender yellow one, see, lavender yellow mustardy kind of color. That one is called Rhymes. Super nice. I'm kind of sad. Like, I love being in clubs. I love buying a subscription to yarn clubs. But I get really sad when they end. I mean, I like getting surprises in the mail once a month, at least. Or, you know, I really like yarn clubs. I think they're super fun. And this one was really, really nice. I really enjoyed it. But now it's over. And that makes me kind of sad. But I'm really happy with everything that I got. So, because I was so sad that the yarn club had ended, I decided to sign up for a new club. As you do. I mean, yeah. My friend Hafdís, that is an Icelandic dyer for a company called Vivid Wool, she decided to have her first yarn club, and she calls it One Skein Wonder Club. So you don't know what you're getting, you don't know the base, you don't know the colors, it's a total surprise. And according to what she says, it's 3 shipments, 3 months. The first one is coming later in June. It's gonna be different, like a different base of yarn each time, and different colors and whatever. So I'm super excited about that. I think sign-ups close on the 5th. So if you're interested, I will also put a link to that below. So you should definitely check it out. You can check out her Instagram and her webpage. And I have quite a collection of her yarns, and I've used them quite a lot. And I really like them. And now she's, like with this club, she's introducing something new, like new bases and probably new colors and combinations. So I'm way too excited to see what she's gonna cook up for us, because I think it's gonna be amazing, and I'm super excited about it. I've been trying to pressure her into like giving me a sneak peek, or hints about what's coming, but she's keeping the secret. So we'll see what happens. I'm super excited about it, and I'm gonna sorry, of course I'm gonna show you what comes in the package when she ships out. Who knows what's gonna be in there. And she's gonna ship worldwide, so anybody can take part and sign up. So you should definitely check it out if you like yarn clubs and surprises. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Okay, I've gone through everything that I was going to go through. So I'm just gonna chat a little bit about life in general, basically. Like I said, I've been basically sick for almost 2 weeks now, and I'm getting pretty tired of it. Me and my husband had our 2-year wedding anniversary on May 26th, and which was a Saturday, Saturday, and we were gonna go to the theater on Friday, but we had to cancel our tickets, or like move our tickets, because I was coughing and blowing my nose every 3 minutes. And when I go to the theater, I hate it when somebody in the audience is like like constantly. It really, really bothers me. So I don't want to be that person to somebody else. So we decided to move our tickets from Friday to Thursday. And my husband Helgi decided to add a little more to our date, and we went out to a really nice restaurant here in Iceland called Grillmarkaðurinn, and we had dinner before we went to the theater. The dinner was amazing. I had lobster, which was just insanely good. He had some lamb, and then we walked to the theater and we saw this show called Svartalogn, which was okay. It was okay. It wasn't the best show that I've ever seen at the theater. I really like going to the theater, but yeah, I mean, it's a hit and miss sometimes. But we had a really, really nice date together, which we don't do enough of. We should definitely do it more often because, I mean, we like each other's company, obviously. We just we don't give ourselves enough time to go on dates. But we definitely should do more of it, and we've been talking about doing more of that. So, and then on Friday, my husband works for the Ministry of Education here in Iceland, and they had like a spring trip thing. And so I took the day off work and we took a bus to the west of the country and up to a glacier called Langjökull, and we went into a cave, a man-made cave, obviously, in the middle of Langjökull. So what they did was architects and engineers and like this whole team of people, they made a tunnel, a cave inside Langjökull, which is a huge glacier here in Iceland. It's long and narrow, and it's 51 kilometers long. It's been around forever, obviously, and they made a tunnel, and you can like stand. There's plenty of space. I thought it would be like really claustrophobic in there, because that sometimes happens to me, but it wasn't at all. It was just amazing, and they put like some LED lighting in the walls and in the floors, and there are huge cracks in the cave, and they have different rooms in there, and it's just insane. It was definitely one of the best experiences I've had in my life. You take the bus to like this parking lot, and then you go into this huge snowmobile car jeep thing. It was something from the American NATO base, I think, and then it was used to like transport missiles or something, and then they moved it to when they bought it from them. They moved it to the UK, where it got changed into like a passenger transport truck, huge truck, and they drive over the glacier and into this. It looks like a hobbit hole when you get to it, but it's huge. I was so surprised how huge it was, and it took 14 months to make the cave. And they have to repair it and like maintain it constantly every day, because the glacier is always moving and it's always basically sinking. The glaciers, they sink, I don't remember how much each year, but there was this wall where, I'll insert the photo. There's this wall where there's a black line, really distinct. You could definitely see this black line on the wall. And he told us, the guide that was with us, this black line is ash from the Eyjafjallajökull eruption that happened here 2010. Wow, I don't even remember, 2008 or something. Yeah, I don't remember which year it was. It doesn't matter. But the ash from the eruption, of course, traveled everywhere with the wind. We got a lot of ash here in Reykjavik as well. And there's this really distinct black line in the wall of the glacier tunnel where you can see it's ash from Eyjafjallajökull. It was insane to see. And then a few layers above, there's another black line, which is not as thick as the Eyjafjallajökull one. It's much, much thinner. And that is ash from the Grímsvötn eruption that happened a few years ago. And when you are down in that area of the tunnel, you are about 15 meters under there are 15 meters of glacier and snow on top of you. And then you go even deeper into the cave. Yeah, it was amazing. And I knit inside the glacier cave. I think I was the first person that ever knit in there. I asked the guide, I said, has anyone knitted in here? And he was like, no, I don't think so. So I took out my knitting and I knit a little bit on my sock. So yeah, I pronounce myself the first person knitting inside a glacier. At least this glacier. It was amazing. Amazing. And then we went... Sorry. The whole trip, like walking around in the glacier, there's even a lagoon in there. It's insane. I don't even know how to describe this. I'll put a link to their website. You can see some photos and stuff. We try to take photos inside the glacier. It's really hard because we have an old camera, so we definitely didn't have the right equipment to take proper photos in there. So maybe I will steal some photos from the internet to show to you guys while I'm describing this stuff. It takes about an hour to explore the entire cave. Or tunnel, or whatever you want to call it. And then we went driving around. We went to a restaurant and had some food. We went to a beer brewery, and had like some tastes of some beers. Strawberry beer, licorice root beer, whale testicle beer that I didn't want to try it even. I'm not a huge fan of hunting whales and killing them. So and whale testicle beer doesn't sound appealing to me. So I was just like, no thank you. Strawberry beer was okay, and I liked the licorice beer because I like everything licorice because I'm Icelandic and we like licorice. Or most of us do. So yeah, that was basically our week. I mean, we worked a lot, did a lot of stuff around the house. Caritas has been doing work, like school's almost over. It will be over next week for her, I think on Thursday. So there has been a lot of helping her out and doing like final papers and essays and studying for her exams. Most of the week has been dedicated to that. Next week for her at school is just gonna be like tomorrow they have an adventure trip planned. They're taking their bicycles to a valley here in Reykjavik and having a picnic and some games and stuff. So they basically are finished with school. They just have like some free time to play around and enjoy themselves before school is out on Thursday. We are thinking about, we are always late in planning our summer, but we're trying to maybe in the beginning of August or maybe waiting until the middle of October to travel a little bit. We kind of want to go somewhere warm and get a little bit of sun, vitamin D for us, but we haven't really made any plans. We're gonna look into some trips probably this evening and see what we can find and what we can manage with like taking times from our jobs and stuff. It's sometimes a bit tricky, and I have to save some vacation time because I know I might be doing a little bit of traveling with Steven later this year. So I need to save a few days of vacation time. But I mean, it all works out in the end, and I might just take some unpaid leave anyway. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, I think that's it for now. I'm gonna edit this video, and then me and my husband are going to my in-laws for some waffles later today. So yeah, I think that's it for now. I'll see you next week, hopefully. If I I hope my cold will be gone by then. Nasty. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I hope you have a really, really nice week ahead of you and enjoy everything that you do. I'll see you in about a week. Bye.